Hey everybody, Frank Ray here with Tim Soldati, First Party Financial in Pleasanton, right?
That's right.
That's right, Pleasanton. You know, this guy right here is always at the top of the list as far as the company's concerned, as far as production goes. What are you, in the top 3 this last month or so, you know?
That's what I'm told.
Yeah, top 3 or 4, something like that. Big dog, big hitter over here. But we want to pick his brain a little bit and get some insight to how he's doing this. And one of the things that he does is he does the BNI thing. And we're going to give you some insight into how that works and exactly what it is. So why don't you fill us in on that a little bit. First of all, what does BNI mean?
BNI is Business Network International.
Business Network International. And so the basic concept of it is what?
It's basically a business network group.
Okay.
And the members are actually all different professions. We're exclusive, one member per profession.
Okay, so the chances of going online to BNI.com or something and saying I'd like to be in a group, that's pretty tough, huh?
You won't get into one if you're a loan officer.
You won't if you're a loan officer,
right?
Which is unfortunate because that's what we are.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So at any rate, well, how do we get involved in something like this? I mean, what do you got to go through? What are the steps? Kind of give us the fast track here.
Yeah. Basically, you're going to want to form your own chapter.
Okay.
My best advice would be to team up with one of your best realtors and say, let's form this group together.
Okay.
And actually going to start meeting and you're going to start recruiting people, try to get it into your group and get it to the point where it's large enough to become chartered by BNI.
Okay, how many people do you have to get it to be large enough?
I think BNI wants to see 16 people, but I could be wrong.
16, so that's 16 professions.
Correct.
And they give you some guidance on what those professions might be, BNI?
Absolutely, but their typical profession might be, the insurance guy, the financial planner, the attorney, obviously the realtor and the mortgage broker.
Appraiser, pest control.
Absolutely. You're going to see painters, plumbers, electricians.
Wow.
So there's all kinds of categories. In fact, our chapter, we have over 30 members.
Okay.
And they're all different professions.
So, but to before these guys, Tim, think, I'm going to go do a BNI chapter, right? I mean, you got to be prepared to, there's a commitment to this, right? I mean, if you're going to go the distance and get the people together and then try and become a chapter, I mean, you're committing to doing this for a while, right? I mean, this isn't something you're just trying to get in and get out of, is it?
No, you're establishing relationships and you want to stay in it for the long haul. So this should become another pillar of, the prospecting tool to use to gain business.
Okay, all right. So now, if we want to start a chapter, like you were telling me earlier that you kind of started it on your own with a few people first, right? And kind of practiced at it, basically. Would that be fair?
Well, we weren't practicing, but we were in the process of trying to form a chapter. It took us 6 months to actually get our chapter off the ground.
Oh wow, 6 months.
And so, and it's trying during this period because you get 4 members, 5 members, 6 members, and you lose one. 7 members, and you lose a couple. So there's a lot of trying period where it could have been easy for us just to say forget it.
Were you the one spearheading it?
Myself and a financial planner were the two spearheading it. So I'm actually the founder of our chapter.
Before you got, what do they call it, chartered? Is that what they call it? Before you got chartered, you were the one rallying the troops basically to meet?
Yes. Okay,
so how are you calling them, emailing them, reminding them, hey, don't forget we're trying to get this chapter together. Let's get together on Tuesday or Friday. What days do you meet?
We meet every Friday morning at 7 a.m.
Okay.
And actually, it's not as hard as you think because we're basically approaching other individual businesses and telling them, how would you like to have an exclusivity membership into a group where other people refer business to you? So the concept is actually pretty easy to sell.
Okay.
It's getting people to commit to a weekly meeting, which is when we meet.
Right.
So we meet every Friday morning. So the people who have challenges are usually the ones that say, I can't get up at 7 a.m. every Friday morning or Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Well, then those people...
They're not going to make it.
They're not going to make it anyway.
So you find somebody to replace those guys.
Absolutely.
So, so let's say once you get your people together and you have enough, then what do you do? Do you go online and apply or something like that to be a chapter? How do you get approved?
There's actually a website you can go to. There's a current one, but it's actually being renewed right now.
Okay.
The current website is www.bni-sfbay.com.
Like San Francisco Bay.
Correct.
Okay.
And then starting October 1st, it's the same website, but there's no hyphen, there's no dash.
Okay. So what do? You get fill out a membership application or something and say, hey, we got all these people together, we want to start a chapter? Or?
Essentially, there's a section in there for chapters forming, and it'll tell you what you need to do. You usually kick off your group with a launch event where you actually invite 50 to 60 other people to your kickoff, and using in that event, you pick up about 10 more members.
Does it cost money to get this going?
Yeah, BNI in general has some corporate fees, which is about $300 a year, which is nothing.
That's not bad.
But we have quarterly dues, which pays for your breakfast and your room charges, which is about $200 a quarter.
Okay.
So all in all, it's about $1,000 a year commitment. But there's
are all the members contributing to this, basically?
Absolutely.
Okay. So they're all contributing to that. So,
right.
So with this group, then you guys meet every Friday morning, and you guys are having breakfast at some restaurant or something like that you've set up. That's
correct.
Pretty much every Friday they know you're coming.
Yep.
Kind of a thing. And how does the meeting run? I mean, like you said, what are you? They're the founder or the chairman or whatever. What are you?
Well, I'm one of the founders, but we all take turn. Every term we switch positions.
So there's officers of the organization, basically, of the chapter.
Right. We have president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, visitor host, membership committee.
And you cycle those duties around.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. One of the top producing guys of the company here. Okay. So what percentage of your business comes from your BNI piece?
You know, that has always fluctuated between 25 and 30% of my business.
25 to 30%. So about a quarter to a third of your business comes from BNI. Now, you were telling me also you have a real estate agent in your BNI group, but that doesn't include the business you get from her. You set that as aside to your real estate piece.
That's correct.
Right? So just the other people in the BNI group chapter have contributed 25 to 30% of your business.
Correct. And some of that business come from the least likely place that I would expect.
Like the plumber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll get ones and twosies from some of those people, but I get a financial planner in there. I get a lot of business from him.
Yeah.
I have an insurance guy. I get a lot of business from him. So there's a lot of, you know, some members actually refer a lot to me. Some don't refer too much to me, but I still get one or two, you know. And the concept is that I have 30 people that are out there touting my name.
Sure. Yeah. When they think of a guy somebody needs a mortgage, or they, hey, I got a guy.
Absolutely.
You're the guy.
Right.
If you don't like people in your group, can you kick them out?
Yeah, they have to be kicked out for, you know, basically infraction from the group or not showing up to the meeting.
Right.
But
you can kick them out.
We can kick them out.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys get along pretty good? Your big core people?
Yeah, we've been together for over 4 years. So.
And when you have these meetings, you got 30 people. How many show up?
Out of them, probably 27, 28 at a time.
Dang, that's good.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason, because if they don't show up, they can get kicked out.
All right, so we got just another minute or so here, but he's a believer like I am, and you get your business from a few different spots. And number one, you get business from your past clients.
Correct.
Right. You separate out your family and friends as sphere of influence, like different from your past clients, but
I do.
Right. Okay. So those two for Tim's, right? You've got the past clients, sphere of influence, which is family and friends, your realtor partners, right, and your BNI group.
That's correct.
Which is what I would call business to business, but this is a much more formal way of doing it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow. So it took about 6 months to get it together, but now you've been doing it for how many years? 4?
We're in our 4th year right now.
And a quarter to a third of your business comes from it.
Correct.
Definitely something to consider, wouldn't you say? I would say so.
I would say
That's really awesome. That's really great. Hey, if these guys got any questions, can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely.
You're and Lenny, all your info?
Yep.
Awesome. There he is, Tim Soldati, BNI Groups. Man, something to definitely consider getting into. Thanks, man.
Hey, you will.
Appreciate it.